Okay, in the previous video, we went through the technical steps of creating a Unity project and making sure that project had version control, specifically GitHub version control. And now in this video, we're going to go over why that's so useful. So we're going to go to a new project, or I should say add project from disk, because this is a file that we already made. I'm going to go to my desktop. I'm going to go to the Unity Git test folder that we initially created. You will see within it we have all of the necessary folders for the Unity project we made in the last video. I'm going to say add project. Now I'm going to open up this specific Unity Git test, and it should be that blank scene that we had created in the previous video. So I will go ahead and cut for after this after this opens up. Oh, actually, I don't even have to because it was so quick. Yes, here it is, the empty project we created in the last video. Here it is with Unity Git test. Now it's time to show you why GitHub is so powerful and so easy to use once you go through all the proper steps of setting things up. So let's say I'm at one machine, maybe at the school, maybe at home. It doesn't really matter. And I do some things to this project. Let's say I let's there we go. Okay, so that's what I did with my project. I'm happy with it. It's fine. I will save as a new scene. So save as scenes. I'm going to call this random stuff. And there we go. We have random stuff here. We saved. I saved again just for safety purposes. Now let's go to the GitHub desktop. If you're connected via account with your GitHub desktop and you went through all the steps in the previous video, then every single thing that you do is reflected in your changes underneath your Unity GitHub desktop. So you can see we added we created the color one material. We created the random stuff scene. We moved stuff around. We did a whole bunch of stuff. As you can see, all the movements and all the stuff that we created is reflected in these changes in some way. You can go into the weeds and actually go through line by line all the things that would have been changed from the previous version of from the blank scene to the scene that we have now. But I'm not going to. Just know that all the changes that you make here in Unity are now going to be reflected here in the changes that you make. So now all we have to do is push this. So let's call this this summary work session 1, and description. I added random stuff. There you go. And I'm going to commit this, and I'm going to push it to the origin. And there we go. Now I'm going to do something crazy, and I'm going to fully delete this project from this computer, and we're going to pretend that this is a new machine. Okay, so quick cut, I got rid of it from my machine. The project is now gone. It's not here in my GitHub desktop, reflecting the projects that I have from my online account to the desktop. It's not here in my Unity Hub. It's not in my desktop. It is gone. I got rid of it completely from this computer. So let's say you worked from the school, now you went home, and you want to take the changes that you made from the school and apply them into your machine at home. Very simple. All we have to do now is just open up our GitHub account here. As you can see, my all my commits, the initial one, the one when I created the project initially, and the work session 1 commits where I did all that random stuff, are all here. So all I have to do now is just go to my GitHub desktop. Again, just clone my repository. Again, we're pretending this is a brand new different machine. I'm going to create the same local path. I'm going to clone it. Shouldn't take that long because there's not that much in there. And there we go. Now at this point, I can very easily just open up Unity again. In this case, add a project from the disk on the desktop. There should be a folder again called Unity Git Test. Within it, all the folders and stuff that we created before should be in there. I'm going to add the project. I'm going to open it up. It should be relatively quick. Again, I deleted everything from this machine before, but I brought it in via cloning the repository that I uploaded into my GitHub account. And now when it opens up, ideally, everything that I did before should still be there, but, in a theoretically different machine. These videos, I am focusing in on just giving you the technical steps on how to do things. In class and in future videos down the line, we can talk more about the theoretical stuff, the reasons why it's so powerful and so useful to use version control over just, saving your project to your USB or to a cloud like a Google Drive or something like that. As you can see, it's blank right now, but we have two scenes here, the sample scene and the random stuff scene. We open up random stuff, and look at that. All the stuff that we did is still there, still ready for us to keep playing around with. And in fact, I will play around with it a little bit more. I will, what will I do? I guess I'll create another material. Create a second material. Let's say I'm home now. I'm continuing to work on this. Color 2, matte. And we can make this red, and I can make the plane red. Why not? And maybe I get rid of the grid too. All right, then I can save this random stuff scene. I can open up my Unity GitHub. My changes that I made in my second work session are here. I can call this work session 2. Added second material, in parentheses red for clarification. I commit to the main. I push to the origin, and now these changes, this version of the scene is now up on my GitHub repository, ready for me to use on other machines. This has been a brief introduction to GitHub. In the future weeks, we're going to talk about mainly branches and just how useful and amazing those are in regards to version control. They're the real power behind version control. All this stuff that we've been doing now is stuff that you can do, on your USB or with the Google Drive or something like that. But the real power of version control comes from branches, and we're going to be talking about branches in future videos in future weeks. So be on the lookout for that, because the real power of version control, once you set up a project and once you've gotten used to making basic commits, the real power of version control comes from branches. But again, we're going to talk about those next week. I hope this helped. This has been a very brief introduction, a very simple introduction to the very bare essential basics of version control. In the next video, we're going to talk about adding collaborators to your project.